So, you guys know me as sort of a trash-talking, out-of-the-box, philosophy dude who like runs off on tangents and stuff, and many of you also know me as a cellist. You might not know about me that I am a composer and an arranger and a bassist and a singer, but you're not going to get any of that from me tonight, but there's a lot of stuff I do. I've got some interesting projects in the can that I'm not going to talk about just yet, but they're pretty blasted exciting. Once upon a time, we called ourselves crossover artists, or we'd list all the instruments we play. In our postmodern times, those of us who do a few different things in the arts, or do a few different things in music and play a few instruments, call ourselves multi-instrumentalists. So it's literal. I compose at sometimes the keyboard, sometimes the cello, sometimes it's from my head. Depending on what I compose or arrange, I might play some different instruments. And so I'm a music producer, composer, arranger, orchestrator, I'm a singer, I'm a bassist, I'm a cellist. So the best and quickest way to get at that, the umbrella term, is call myself a multi-instrumentalist. When one studies to be a cellist, as I did, I think, when they're not a music education major, when they're a performance major like I have been or like I was, at least I wanted to be the best in the world. I wanted to learn what it took to be the best in the world and at least be one of the best. And I think, as I always say, when I found out what I had to do, I said, yeah, let me go for plan B, because I'm not doing that. That music's too freaking hard to have to memorize and work on. I'd have to sell my soul for that. And so, no, a good friend of mine told me, you don't want to be the best in the world. You want to be the cellist that the cosmos has for you. And I never forgot that. And I think that's what I've become. But even with that, and being in magazines and doing interviews and being like an interesting new kid on the block that the press was interested in, I got homesick. And I missed my mom. My mom and I are like really tight. And as you know, while we're doing this interview now, she's sitting right in front of me, bless her heart, with her sitter, and she's 88, soon to be 89. And I missed her, so I decided, I'm coming home, man. I don't have any true dyed-in-the-wool friends that know me like my friends know me that I came up with in Florida. And I came back here and I was like, whoops, that really wasn't the right decision. There's not a lot of artistic stuff happening here. But I think cosmically it was the right move. I was happy to be around the roots that I came up in. And then right after I landed here, Polk State reached out to me and said, hey, come conduct the orchestra. And then they asked, do you want a full-time job? And I was like, no, I'm a touring musician. They're like, yeah, but come teach humanities. I taught it and I haven't left since. That was almost 15 years ago. Voices of the people are several things. But principally what it is it gave me a way to stay sane at my job. So I created Voices of the People so I could have, on a regular basis, some of my buddies come down from these places. They're playing with the big, squads, with the Detroit Symphony or the St. Louis Symphony come down from New York or Chicago, or whatnot, and we hang out and have a good meal, kick it around, smoke some good cigars, and play some great music. But it was to give Polk Countyans a way to experience world-class music without having to travel to another state or to another city. Bring it right here, make it affordable. Once one can understand oneself, there's nothing one cannot understand. So if something is still a mystery to one, that's because one is a mystery to themselves. And I want to instill that to as many people as I can, because that's what keeps me laughing in spite of all manner of hardships that may come by me or whatever the world throws at me today or tomorrow or whatever. I'm always able to laugh because life is like, it really is a bowl of cherries for me. Some of the cherries might be a little, rancid. Some of them I got to throw out. No one said that they all have to be tasty or sweet, but they're still cherries. I'm having a groovy time in life, and I think other people can too.